Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, my co-host, the voice of MMA in Utah, Mr. Zack Partridge. What up?
Doug? What up?
Fighter Spotlight number, what are we on? 4 now?
3?
3? Yeah, number 3. Hey, shout out to Tyler Diamond. Got my hat, and I got your hat, Zack, in the mail today.
Did you take your sticker off?
No, I'm going to be that guy.
Oh,
I'm going to be that guy.
I need a new co-host. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy.
I just got it in the mail. I just wanted to throw it on for the podcast to, show our support for our
Take
boy
half
Tyler.
a second and take that sticker off. You're like some 13-year-old kid.
I used to leave the stickers on it, and yeah, I've luckily grown past that.
Zack, the cyber bully, is back at it again.
Oh gosh. Do we need to tell people what your nickname is and why?
Oh, because no, we're not going to get into that.
Okay, we won't.
That's another podcast. This is AJ's time.
All right. What up, AJ?
AJ Garcia joining us, Fighter Spotlight. AJ, what's up, man?
How's it going, guys?
Good to have you on. So AJ's fighting on the SteelFist Fight Night promotion card July 31st.
Yeah.
You were back in the SteelFist cage. It's been a few years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
2.5 years.
Yeah. After my last fight, I decided to take a year off. I was moving into a house, and then by the time I went back and started training again, COVID happened and shut everything down. So it ended up being a lot longer than I wanted it to be.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that COVID kind of threw a wrench in a lot of people's plans last year.
Yeah, kind of took out a year of everyone's primes.
Yeah, thanks, Fauci. Sorry, we were just talking about that before.
Yeah.
So, AJ, is the plan to be, after this, is the plan to be more active and fighting regularly again?
Yeah, I want to be more active, but I'm not sure how much longer I'm going to be necessarily fighting. I'm going to keep training, I want to get up and I want to work towards getting my black belt in jiu-jitsu. That was something I was working for a while ago with Anthony Lobato, and he's one of the best ground guys I've ever worked with. So that was pretty cool. But after this fight, I don't know. I do want to stay consistent and keep fighting. I'm just not sure how much longer I'm going to be fighting. I'm not getting any younger, so I want to get in as many as I can, or it just depends on my health too.
Yeah.
I'm getting more sore and not recovering like I used to.
Well, you've also had people that don't know. They look at your record, and you've had 5 pro fights. You had 13 amateur fights too.
Yeah. I was fighting consistently. I was fighting every 3-4 months.
That's why I asked that, because I'm looking at this, and from 2012, basically the end of 2000, you fought twice at a month apart in 2012, your first and second fight. But 2012 to 2016, 4 years, 13 fights. That's pretty active.
Yeah, I was going hard, and I was fighting the best guys around here. From different weight classes.
One of the few guys to beat Mike Olasky as an amateur. He fought Joel Haro, who's Samson Feelabout. He trains with us now. Braden Gardner way back when. You fought Rowdy twice. Ryder Campo.
Ryder Campo, yeah.
And then as pros, Leon Taylor, who's a big name around, Troy Dennison. So yeah, but even as a pro, when you were fighting every couple of months.
Yeah. I wanted to fight the best people as an amateur and really get ready for when I became pro. And I think one of the things when I became pro, I just started taking fights too. And I wasn't even I didn't even care who it was. I was fighting guys that had a lot of fights when I had 1 or 2 fights.
Yeah.
If I could change anything, I think I might, slow down a little bit, because I think that kind of took its toll on me. But at the same time, it is what it is. I'm down to fight anyone, so it's whatever.
Is there a fight that you'd like to get back? Is there an L that you'd like to get back that you want to run it back with?
Oh, I would like to fight Dennison again. That was the only fight that I really got beaten up in. And I had him down inside mount, went to mount, and threw up a triangle that was basically locked in, and not locked in, or else I wouldn't be having this conversation. But it was there, And then he got out and started like landing ground and pound on me. And it was so close for me and then went all the way to him. I think that would be a good one to get back.
I like that. I was gonna say, if you call out Rowdy Akers again to beat him for the third time, I'd give him crap. But
no, he's a funny dude. Like we've spent a lot of time in the cage together.
Yeah, you guys did.
2 unanimous decisions.
Yeah. That first time we fought, he came. It was after the Joel Haro fight. He met me in the crowd, and he just called me out, and I was all pissed off about losing that Joel Haro fight. And so when he came up to me and called me out, I was like super pissed. I was like ready to fight right there. So leading up to that fight, I was so mad, and I couldn't wait to go hit him. And then after the fight, we became friends, and then eventually started training together after the second fight because I ended up leaving the gym I was at. And he's the one that invited me over to One Hit. So I thought that was cool of him.
That's awesome.
People that don't know, like I think I've shared it before, Rowdy was the one that got me into fighting.
Really? I didn't know that.
I didn't think I knew that either.
I had my kid in the kids class, and Rowdy was the pro that while I was watching my oldest doing his first few classes sit next to me. He's like, dude, I have a fight. Come to my fight. You should come train with us. And it was like, I was like 270 pounds. I was super fat, out of shape. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Like, I like the sport. Like, and I was like, I was looking at it, and then he was the one that convinced me to start training and made me feel as a pro, from a pro fighter to somebody that had no background in anything. He was the one that like welcomed me and made me feel like a part of the gym and a part of the team and stuff. I mean, it was Rowdy.
Yeah. That's crazy. It's crazy too, knowing that you were like, because I've known you, I've got to know you more recently, and to think that you were that big, like I can't even register how that was.
It's crazy. Look at the poster, the SteelFist poster of him and Justin, and look at the difference between then and now. It's crazy.
Yeah. You're killing it, man.
Yeah, but Rowdy's that guy. He makes everybody feel welcome. He does a good job, and hopefully he stays retired. I love you, Rowdy, if you're listening. But
he is a fighter's fighter.
That's right. Anyways, we had our fight coming up, and our second fight, because we fought as amateurs, and then we went to have a rematch as pros, and that's when I left the gym I was at because I was just kind of beefing with the coach there and not really liking it. But Rowdy invited me to come train there while we had our fight scheduled. So we decided to wait till after, obviously, but he was down with me training with him for our fight.
He's a different breed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So AJ, what do you know about your opponent for this upcoming fight?
I don't know like a ton about him. I know he used to fight like a while ago and had a lot of fights. Tough dude, but other than that, I know he took some time off. He was, going through some stuff, which I've been there before too. I know how that is. So he's looking to come back and, get back in, and I'm right there too. So
kind of the same circumstances. You guys have both kind of been on a little off time.
Yeah. Like, before I started fighting, I had, my demons. The fighting helped me turn my life around. And so I think in a lot of ways, me and him are kind of similar, but then total opposites too, in like the same breath. So,
yeah.
But other than that, I don't know like a ton about him. I know he's a tough guy. I know he's going to want to get back in there and throw down. So I'm all for it. I can't wait. Like, it's been longer than I've ever gone without fighting. So I'm ready to step in there too and just count down the days.
At what point in 18 fights between pro and ami, at what point do the nerves still get to you the same? Is it different? How is the longer you go, how's that feel?
Yeah, it's a total different feeling now. I remember those first few amateur fights, because even after like 2 or 3 fights, I got an amateur title fight against Samson, and like leading up to those fights was just, there was so much just like emotion, and I was so nervous leading up to it. But now I'm just like more excited. Like, I've been through this so many times that it's just to a point where, you are still a little nervous because you're about to be in a fist fight, but it's like more, it's like 80% excitement, 20% nervous at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was gonna say, I remember my third fight. I didn't even want to go. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, this is what am I doing? You know?
Yeah.
So,
Like the whole week of the fight, like, was pretty nerve-wracking before, and now you get there, you're worried about your weight, and once you get that done, it's just like you're ready to go. Lucas Montoya was in my corner for my last fight, and I remember him telling me, like, bro, you look so calm. Like, this is the calmest I've ever seen you look before a fight. And that's just from years of fighting, pretty much.
Yeah. Got that experience under your belt.
he's not a bad person to have in your corner either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a bad corner guy.
It's just really interesting because, like, I felt it my last fight. I finally felt like it's a little it was more excitement than nerves.
Yeah.
But then that didn't go so well, so maybe I need to be more nervous.
Yeah, you'll fill it out and take all those amateur fights, and that's where you find your happy medium and go from there. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you the question since you've been through it. How many fights do you think somebody should have before they go pro?
I think it varies from person to person, but it also depends on the type of fights you're taking. Like me, I took a few amateur fights, but I was fighting really good people. I think it just depends how much you test yourself. If you're just taking, fights and you're blown right through them, I wouldn't necessarily say to hurry and just go pro.
Yeah.
You want to get in there with some tough people and make sure you're ready to go. But as far as the number, I don't know. Like, it really depends. It depends on the circumstances. But I would say no more than maybe where I was at, like 12, 14, 15. Around that area.
At some point, I was going to say, at some point, it's got to be like, okay, it's time to level up.
Yeah. So we had Sean O'Connell on our podcast, and he talked about it. He's like, when they came up, he's like, we didn't have amateurs.
Yeah.
Our coach LJ Schultz, he never did amateurs. It was just like
the drum matches and
then I was watching who was supposed to be my opponent at the Fierce card, Johan Rubio. Him and Casey Radden had a gnarly fight at the last Fierce fights. And I just remember thinking, I'm like, these guys both who had, I think that was Johan's ninth fight.
Yeah.
And Casey's had tons of fight experience between kickboxing and boxing and MMA. I'm like, these guys should be getting paid for this.
Yeah. Those guys are good enough to where, you would think that pretty soon they'd be going pro.
I know Johan is, but
I've trained with Casey. I've been on a card with Johan, and I met him once. I think when I fought Braden Gardner, and I watched him just roll through people like nothing. Like, that dude is good. So at that point you would think they would want to get paid and quit doing it for free. But
that's what I'm saying. So at what point did you think, because in your 13 fights, at what point were you like, man, I think it's time to go pro? Was it right after the Ryder Campo, which ironically was, it was a loss, right? And then you decided to go pro. You see a lot of people kind of do it. It's like they have a nice little win streak going and they're like, okay, it's time to go pro.
Yeah. I felt like I fought the best people around. And then if that didn't get me ready, fighting someone else, wasn't really going to get me even more ready. I fought the best and was ready to do it. And then the money issue, it can be an issue for some people, if they don't have the money and they want to start making money. I tell people not to worry too much, right away. Don't jump too quick and start going for that money if you're not ready. But if you're ready, go for it.
I think that's probably where having a good coach or a good manager in your corner to kind of guide you down that path, depending on what your career path is going to be in fighting.
Yeah, that was another thing for me. I had spent a lot of time with Anthony Lobato working on ground stuff, so I felt like my striking wasn't really ready to go pro right away. So I wanted to take some more time and kind of get there. But
where did he go?
Right now, he's gone a few places. At the time, he had his own gym when I met him, and that's where I started training with him. And then he ended up moving to the garage, kind of combining there. And then right now he's at KOA, I believe it's called.
Koa, yeah.
Yeah, KOA.
Okay. I just saw that they just moved to West Kaysville. They just moved their gym.
Yeah, they moved their gym.
What and then I was gonna ask, sorry, I got super distracted. My kids are downstairs. No, so where did you go after the garage?
So I left there. I started training with Pat Reeves for my fight with Rowdy.
Yeah.
I knew some guys training with him and Eric Munoz and those guys. Right. And I really didn't have anywhere else to go. Rowdy was at One Hit, and I'm in like the Ogden area, and there's not much out here other than the stuff in Layton. So I left the garage, started working with Pat Reeves, and then I stayed with him for a couple fights, and then later on started going to One Hit.
Nice. Well, we're happy you found your way over to One Hit.
Yeah, it's been awesome having all the guys there. A stand-up coach like Aldo, and then working with the LJ, Jordan, like all those guys. Like everyone there is like awesome.
Well, you guys got quite the crew coming for this July 31st. How many fighters do you guys have fighting?
Six.
Yeah.
You guys are like half the card.
Yeah, I was pretty nervous when I came to One Hit. Like I was thinking guys were just going to start putting it on me right off the bat, and it was not like that at all. Like everyone was super cool, was helping me out, and yeah, I was pretty nervous.
Yeah, I've been up there a couple times and trained on Saturdays, and it's always been very welcoming. Everybody's teaching, and I have the same feelings. I don't fight, so when I go into these gyms, I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna get my butt kicked today, which I usually do. But it's respectful. It's a learning experience, and yeah, it's a great gym.
Yeah.
The thing that I think most people don't understand, and the only reason why I can say it so confidently, because I was that guy, right? I'm just like, I don't belong here, and these guys are gonna just beat the brakes off of me. Like,
yeah.
It's like sophomore year of high school football all over again, while you're on the scout team, while all the varsity guys just pound you all season,
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do this, but man, it didn't matter. Like what's so cool at One Hit, and I think it's most gyms around here. I don't know too many gyms that I'm like, you guys are a bunch of dickheads.
Yeah.
But one thing that's always impressed me at One Hit, it doesn't matter if somebody's Ben Moa and fighting for Bellator, or Joe Rodriguez, who's fought for Bellator and Glory and all that, or and those guys, or some of the guys that are there that have no intention of fighting and just come train all the time and are just bodies, and it's like everybody's pretty cool to everybody.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good culture that starts with Aldo, obviously, but all the coaches there and everybody, I just think everybody gets pretty well looked after.
Yeah. Joe's one of the better people like that. Like Joe will come grab you, like if he doesn't even know you, and take you aside and start giving you pointers, like when he sees you doing
He's a great
stuff.
coach.
Yeah. And everything he shows you, it's like, oh wow, like why didn't I know that? Like it's like the best advice ever. And then he's such a big dude. Like every time I'm sparring with him, like he moves like he's our size, like he's like a lightweight. But then you go to block his kick, and it sends you flying back. And it's like, okay,
yeah, he's
so strong and so fast.
Yeah,
he's the guy that I told Aldo. I was like, when my first fight, it was like 205. I'm like, yeah, I'll get down to 185 and that'll be good. And Aldo pointed at Joe and he goes, he used to fight at 185. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I'm moving down to 155 then.
Yeah.
He's huge.
Yeah. So big, but then so fast, and it's crazy.
Yep.
He's on Shark Tank days. He's always calling me out, and I'm like, oh man,
like, damn it.
He's one of those guys. Him and LJ both, and even Jordan. When I've done it, and I've seen fights where they've lost, but when I train with them, I look at them and I'm like, how did this guy ever lose a fight ever?
It's crazy.
I think the same thing. Like,
you know what I mean? Like I watch my movements, and I'm like, I'm surprised I'm not like 500. And then I watch those guys, and I'm like, that guy's never lost a fight. You can't tell me that Joe's ever lost a fight or LJ's ever lost a fight.
Yeah. You train with some of these guys and you see how good they are. And then you like realize the levels to it. Cause like there's guys in our gym who are just like amazing. And then you think about guys on the UFC level that like end up like they're from this area or something and end up getting cut because they're just losing fights there. But then they come around here and they're just smashing people.
Yeah.
It's like the levels to everything is just insane.
There are levels to this.
It's
Yeah.
pretty interesting to see the levels, because I'm at that beginner level. So I go in there and I watch, you know, I've been training maybe 6 months consistently now, but seeing the newer guys come in and train, I'm like, damn, was I really that bad? Like,
Yes, you were.
yeah, I was
We
that
all-
bad.
we all were.
I still am that bad, but it's fun. And I got a new appreciation for what you guys do, because it's not easy at all.
Lucas was one of those guys, like for me, because he was training with us a lot too when I first started. Plus, we went to high school together, so I'd known him for a while. But when I started training with him, like I saw how good he was, and I was like, God damn, like this guy's so good. And then if he ever would lose a fight, I would be like, how does this guy lose a fight? Like, who is better than him? Like, it would like blow my mind, because like
So
you
this
see
is-
how good he is, and it's insane.
With Lucas, here's what's crazy is he's a black belt, you know, ninja on the ground, right?
Yeah.
And he hung with Clay Collard pretty dang good on the feet for a while.
Yeah.
His hands looked so good against Clay. And I'm just like, man, if Lucas decided he wanted to just do that, like he's probably one of the top guys around.
Yeah.
And he kind of does it as a hobby, kind of like just on like just kind of, you know.
Yeah. And then you have
I mean,
Clay
I know he
Collard
grapples.
beating Anthony Pettis now.
Made it look easy. Cash that
Yeah.
ticket. Me and Jason both bet
Cash
on
it.
Clay Collard.
Cash
Shout
it.
out Ryan Alt, Clay Collard, all them boys.
Yeah, hell yeah. Ryan's watching too. What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, what
He's
up,
watching.
Ryan? You know, it's just, but yeah, the talent level here in Utah is so
underrated.
underrated.
Underrated 100%. Like there's savages at every gym you go to. There's savages in everyone. And not only that, look at the high level of coaching that, I mean, you go to every gym from down south down to Provo with Dane and those guys. You go to Wasatch, you come up here to Salt Lake, you got all the, you know, you got
Sarah, absolute.
Yeah, Sierra,
Pitt.
absolute, the Pit. You got I know I'm losing track of all these. You go up to your guys there, you go out to Tooele. Like there's high level coaching, high level athletes, very underrated state as far as MMA is concerned.
Yeah, Utah has a pretty solid MMA scene going on, and did like a while ago, like when like there was some pretty big, there was events everywhere. 10 years ago.
Well, Showdown was huge.
Showdown. You look at the guys that have come out of Utah. You Court McGee. You got Brandon Melendez.
Jeremy Horn.
Yeah, Jeremy Horns. I didn't even mention his gym. There's studs over there at his gym too. Like it's crazy. Josh Berkman.
The first time fighting for Horn and seeing him, I was like blown away, because I'm a pretty like hardcore like MMA fan and just have been watching it forever. So seeing him in person, I was afraid to go like talk to him, and I was like starstruck just seeing him. Like, oh my God, this guy beat Chuck Liddell. And he's just standing like 5 feet from me, and I was too afraid to even go say anything.
Bro, I was cornering Tanner Hines at his FitCon fight. Me and Aldo were cornering Tanner, and I look across, and when he fought Johan, and I'm like, I took like a second as we were like right before the fight started. You know, Dave Sully said, you know, are you ready? Are you ready? And I'm looking across, and it was a boxing ring, and I'm like, I am cornering across from Jeremy Horn right now. Like, this is what in the world?
Yeah, it's insane. That guy has a lot of fights too.
Just like 120.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. And
Yeah.
I've never taken any classes, but I've talked to a couple guys that train over there, and they say it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. Go ahead, Zach.
I was gonna say, AJ, do you have a prediction for this fight? We haven't talked about this fight a ton. You have a prediction for this fight?
I don't know. I don't know. I try not to make predictions just because, you know, when stuff goes the other way, it doesn't look as good. But I wanna be in an awesome fight. I want to be in a fight that everyone, like when the event's over and they're looking at it, they're like, damn, that was an amazing fight. Like I've been out of it too long that I don't want to waste any time. I want to get in there. I want to go forward, and I want to be in a great fight. That's the most I can say about it.
Love it. I heard first round KO, Zach, didn't you?
That's what I heard. I heard after a good back and forth, he's going to sleep him.
AJ, we're looking forward to your fight, man. Do you have any sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I just picked up a new sponsor. It's Darren Badeau RV. It's located in Ogden, Utah. They sell new and used RVs. Great people. I met the owner the other day, took some pictures with them. All the guys there are pretty awesome. So, anyone in the market for a new or used RV, go check them out.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Hell yeah, man. July 31st, reach out to AJ, get your tickets. This event will sell out.
Oh, we gotta sell this whole thing out.
The will sell out. If you cannot get a ticket, I put the website so you can get the link and watch it from the comfort of your own home. I will not be watching this one at the comfort of my own home. I will be there.
Yes, this is going to be an amazing event. So anyone not there is going to be missing out.
Yeah, this one's going to be a super fun card. I'm super stoked for it. Super stoked to see you fight, AJ, because I haven't seen you fight, so I'm excited to see you fight.
Yeah, let's go.
Hell yeah, man. All right, we'll let you get out of here. July 31st. We'll see you.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for having me on, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, going.